A storm is coming. Mankind faces ruin and despair. The world is changing, yet hope remains in the hearts of the people. We go about our daily lives never knowing the forces that can change our destinies forever. We are oblivious, ignorant like sheep to the slaughter. This night, in the year of our Lord 1047, marks the beginning of our journey together. A journey into darkness, into madness. I watch him from the shadows. Is he the one? He has come far already, but he will be tested to the very limits of human endurance and beyond. This night he rides looking for the old gods, armed with an amulet that has led him here. Tonight he will begin his journey into oblivion. The struggle for supremacy is eternal, inevitable. Victory is the natural objective of every creature on this world. They will kill and die for their kind to dominate. Some call this eternal struggle equilibrium, the balance between light and darkness. These are dark times, times without hope. Men of faith claim that this is a test from God to strengthen our spirit. Perhaps this is true, or perhaps it is simply a pious lie. If it is true, darkness has come to engulf once proud humanity, and we are witnessing the end of mankind.
It's Friday, and that can mean only one thing. It's time to play your favorite Konami games using the Konami code. That's right, Konami Code Fridays here on Brothers Forge Gaming, and what we have right here is the Lord of Shadows on the PlayStation 3. This is the first sort of rebranding, reimagining of the series on the PlayStation 3. There are a couple games on the PS2 and Xbox that are excellent. I have tried really hard to get into this game, and man, these opening cutscenes, Patrick Stewart as the voiceover, I mean, you've got so many good things going for this game. The graphics are really clean, especially in those cutscenes. The detail, there's so many options, different things you can do in this game, leveling, relics, items, discoverables, kind of like God of War. You can, find the gems and power up your life and mana, and you've got these different abilities. And, I kind of feel like that's where the series started to lose me, is that I am all about RPG elements in games, especially awesome games like Castlevania that have adapted with the growing changes of the market. But I like my Castlevania, my 2D platformer. Like I said, there's a couple of them. The one on the PS2 is really good. It kind of starts to implement some of these without overdoing it. And I just think there are too many 3D elements in this game. Things such as having to, use your whip chain and find, ledge crawling and hanging and doing all this different stuff all the time. It's not so bad if it's like one level, but it just after about the third level, it became, on the third level, it became just overbearing. Too much, too many things to do, which is cool. I suppose if you were not used to playing Castlevania games the way that I grew up playing them, that it might not be a big deal for you. Oh, hey, this is a lot like God of War. I like that game. I'm gonna play this game. But for me, it was just too much. I want my Castlevania game to be Castlevania. But that being said, this is actually a really cool game. I've tried several different times to get into it. When I first played it, I put it on hard. I think maybe I made it a little bit too hard on myself trying to play through the game on the harder setting. It made the boss fights just ridiculous. You couldn't miss a beat. And other than that, I mean, it was pretty much the same. But yeah, the boss fights were brutal. So I think I just maybe overplayed it on myself doing that. But one of these days, I'm going to have to try to get back into this game. I mean, it just seems like it has so much to offer. There is a sequel as well, Lord of Shadows 2, and I believe there's like a DLC or like a re-imaging, sorry, not re-imaging, but like a added content, like deleted scenes kind of thing that they added. It's like Lord of Shadows EX or whatever it's called. So there's that as well, and those are all on the PS3. All of that being said, overall, this game definitely is worth taking a look at, and one of the reasons we're bringing this on Konami Code Friday is you can enter the Konami code, and it's pretty darn close to the original code. Up, up, down, down, left, right, and the wiki says that it's X circle, but it's actually circle X, because if you hit X before circle, it actually initiates the next part of the thing. So what you got to do is you got to enter that code on the loading screen, kind of like right when the voiceover starts, before you can advance the screen. And again, so on the loading screen, when the voiceover starts, before you can advance the screen, you have to enter up, up, down, down, left, right, and then it's circle X. And then if you've done it correctly, you'll see when the main screen comes up, after the loading screen, when you start to play the game again, you'll see a image of an 8-bit Castlevania character that's kind of mimicking your moves. You'll jump and whip and do those different things as you're going through the level. And at first I was like, okay, that's cool. That's all the code gave me was that. And I was like, that's pretty neat. Why not? A little added bonus. I like it. But then later on I found out if you pause the game, because there's difference between opening your journal thing and then pausing the game. So what it is if you pause the game, there is now an option for extras, something like that, and then cheats. You'll see it on there, and you can't even access that till the third level anyway, so don't even really bother putting in the code unless you want to see like I said, the little character that mimics your movements, which is kind of cool. So you can't enter that in on the first level. I wasn't able to enter it in on the second level, but on the third level is where you can really start to use it, and I'll go over that, and that's going to be later in the video. You're going to see that. I had a little bit of trouble figuring out where and when and why and how to do that. So anyhow, basically unlocks all the unlocks in the game and makes you invincible. I believe you can, invincible, do all this different stuff. I also turned on all these different meters and things. Those are part of the game without the code, so you can add the life bars and different things. You'll see that, like I said, later in the video.
Who are you?
I am Gabriel. I have traveled here seeking the Guardian of the Lake.
You are from the Order? They sent you?
How do I find him?
He will find you. In the forest.
I follow him into the old forest, watching him from afar. He is strong indeed. The one God comes to drive out the many, but here, in this place, God's influence is thin and threadbare. The old gods still hold sway here. Few venture this far into the wood. He is disturbed by dreams, dreams that gnaw at his very soul. He will rest for the night, but rest will not come easy. The battle has left him weakened, but he knows the dream will return, and though he fears nothing on this earth, yet his nightmares sap the strength within him and leave a cold grip on his heart. Tomorrow he will use the old hunting path. Long has it been in disuse, but for now he dreams. What motivates a man to confront the challenges that most of us would run from? Condemning him to solitude, exposing him to defeat and death. The answer is love, a force so powerful that all reason becomes blind to it, blind to all things, even the truth. Loss of love can make a man desperate, desperate enough to do anything to bury the truth, to hide from its pain.
Here you seek the guardian of the lake. I will take you to him, but we must be quick. Climb onto my back. Hurry!
One thing, and it, like a lot of games, actually, if you enable all the cheat codes, it disables the save. So basically, if you're going to enter the codes, I would say maybe try to go through the game as fast as you can with all the cheats on, beat the game, not being able to save. I don't know, this is probably a pretty long game, so that might be kind of hard to do. It might be like after you beat the game, you go back through and do that. I don't know. I'm not really sure if it's just for like testing a certain level. But what it did is it actually corrupted my save file as well, so I wasn't even able to go back to my previous time it saved. I had to basically start over, so I don't know what was going on with that. I think it was because of the code. I'm not sure. Maybe my save file was corrupted for some other reason, but pretty sure it was because of the code. So yeah, like I said, use the code, have fun with it, check it out, play through the game with the code, seeing all the different power-ups and stuff, but as far as advancing the game goes with it, it's probably going to be pretty difficult. If you guys have been following us on Konami Code Fridays, usually this is about a challenge, putting in the code. There's a lot of time, if you've played the game a lot, like Contra, I mean, you could beat the game without the code, pretty easily. But it's also fun to put in the code and try to do different things, and that's kind of the idea of the Konami Code Challenge, is to put in the code and then do something that would otherwise be, really difficult, like speedrunning or, doing certain only power, no power-up runs, stuff like that. This game is going to be a little harder to do that. If you wanted to get a challenge out of this, I would say maybe do, like I said, maybe put in the code. You can't use it till the 3rd level, so maybe put in the code and just try to beat the game as fast as you can. I don't know if that's reasonable or not. I have never beaten this game. I've maybe made it about halfway through. And like I said, I was playing it on a difficult setting, and it just became too much. And then I tried to start over on just like the regular setting, and I was like already like, there's certain things in the game, and you're gonna see that in level 3. You have to like grab bombs and blow up trees, and there's just other annoying things where you have to kill certain enemies in a certain exact spot, and it's just really counterproductive to what you're trying to do. And I just didn't like what it did to the flow of the game. But like I said, that being said, it's not a deterrent exactly from this game. I want to say this game is amazing, it's excellent. But I know somewhere down the road, I am going to pick this game up and I'm going to play it. And I'm going to be like, why did I not play this all these years ago? Because it's so excellent. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the gist of the Konami Code Friday. This one, like I said, is not really so much for a challenge, but it is cool. What we're trying to do is outline all the different games you can use the Konami Code for. And I mentioned this in last week's video. There's not really, like, at least the place I can find, one place to find all the games you can put the codes in, all the actual codes themselves, and what they do. That's not really... you can find bits and pieces here and there. So what we're trying to do is bring it all together. You know, we're going to have a playlist of all the different games you can put the Konami Code in, and an example of what they do. So look forward to more of those. I believe next week I might do Castlevania Chronicles, because I believe that works on that game as well. Not really sure what that does yet, but we will find out. So make sure to tune in, guys. You've been hanging out with Brothers Forge Gaming, and we'll see you next Friday.
Can travel no further. You will find what you seek ahead.
Alone again, with only his thoughts as company, he continues on his journey to find the one he seeks. Who or what was that strange creature? There is a power here that few know, a power that could have some influence on events. Perhaps the guardian of the lake is aware of him now and offers aid in his quest. There is just the small matter of the dead bog to overcome, a place that has claimed the lives of many of the Brotherhood. The smell of death is strong here, and danger lies around every corner, but nothing will stop him. Nothing will stand in his way.
Forgive me, brother, but my need is far greater than yours.